What is going on, guys? Marcin here. Thursday, February 22nd, 12:04. Slight delay today, huh? Why am I here? Before I say that, I think that intro of like 4 minutes seems a little long. I don't know. I'm contemplating. Maybe I should cut it down to like 2 minutes or something. But also remember, it's a good time for me to just kind of like organize things and just lay everything out on, lay everything out on the screen. But I don't want to bore you guys with this stuff. Let's talk about the topic. If you're watching this maybe for the first time, I'm Marcin. I've been doing photography for the last 17 years. Let me actually do flash something on the screen because I'm super excited to tell you guys about something. So if you don't know me, this is Creative Factories where you can find me. But what's more important is this stuff. This is probably something you'll care more about than my website. I just did an announcement on this channel. If you're watching this live, it's very important that you know this. There's actually a section, and I should be able to show you that. Let's just see. Let's just see. Can I pull it up quickly on this channel when you guys are watching? There should be a section for interviews. And what's really cool about this, so this is typically where you go. So the new 2026 interview series, raw format. Why raw format? Is because we are sort of slicing and dicing different photography personalities. These guys know how to do it, how to win this game in photography. So I try to invite as many photographers to kind of help you out with different genres of photography so that you don't get like one flavor of like weddings or sport photography or volume or kids or that's exactly what we're doing. They share all the like secrets behind the scenes stuff. I highly recommend it. Going back to that post I was just sharing with you, this is the lineup for the first quarter. And if you guys have been in this game for even a little bit, you will probably start recognizing some names. Top of the line, lineup. These are folks that speak at WPPI, US, the Imaging USA, Spark. You name a conference, they're probably on this list. And if they're not on this list, they'll probably be on the list of like for the second quarter. Super excited about this. Super thankful to like all these guys on the list, because guess what? They're actually taking time away from their businesses as entrepreneurs. They are busy. Their calendars are usually full. So super thankful that they can help me, because I learn from every session that I do with them. But not only me, also you, because they just spread the knowledge. Cost you nothing. So something to consider. Back to today's session. Let me roll. Actually, no, too far. Hold on. Marcy, what are you doing? Today's session, we're talking about CRMs. I picked a topic, and this is going to be a high-level CRM overview. So, like, if you already have some sort of a system in place, CRM in place, probably not an episode for you. You can just hop and enjoy the rest of Thursday. If you don't have a CRM, or if you're not sure like what CRM is exactly doing, because a lot of people think CRM is like, oh, it's a system that stores your customer information. There's more to it, right? Like CRM systems are so sophisticated these days. And I basically, for somebody that's building business and like focusing on photography and editing, great. But let me tell you, better CRM system will get you more clients than perfecting your photography. Maybe not something some people want to hear necessarily, because we think it's like, best photography always wins. Like, not necessarily, and this is because your clients sometimes can't, they're not photography experts. Sometimes they cannot judge. I mean, they can judge for their own sake. They can they can have their preferences, but it's like sometimes staying in touch with them and knowing how to do it, or doing it in sort of an automated way where like system is reaching out when you sleep, is sometimes more important than like improving your art by a little bit. So just something to remember. Can't stress it enough. You saw the names. Definitely take advantage if this is where whatever stage you're on. Super, super helpful stuff. Today, CRM, like I said, I always have a slide deck for you, and I always flash this additional information, which I am gonna do anyway. School community, setting everything up right now. You can scan the QR code. This is how you can get in touch with me. If you have any questions pertaining to camera editing, client interaction, business, automation, you name it, there's like 7 major components. You can reach out. You can send me a DM. Also, if you're interested to become one of the speakers, you can also DM me with a question, and let's see if we can if it's going to be a good match. So that's one way to get in touch. The school link right now still closed, setting everything up. But I'm just letting everybody know because there's a like a waiting list, quote unquote. So when you hop on, you join, you send in the request, and once reopened, there's going to be no paywall, nothing. It's totally free, and it takes you through like a fundamental level of how to monetize photography. There's camera stuff, lenses stuff. It's all free. It's basically the goal is to get you to make your first 100, 700, $1,000 before we can take it further and talk about things like brand and funnels and automation. Like, don't complicate it. There's actually an easy way of doing it. So definitely take advantage of it if you can. All right, let's shut this down. Let's go back to the slide deck and why every photographer needs a CRM. So let's talk about CRM and what is that CRM systems are doing. From missed leads to booked calendars, how one system changed everything. And this is again, for me, because I had no idea what CRM systems were when I started. I was chasing every client, sending emails, remembering a lot of stuff. And let me tell you, with one client, not a big deal. 2 clients, you can do it. But like 3 clients, if you have different interaction points with those clients, you will eventually start forgetting. Let's say you have 5 interaction points from like when the client starts, right? Now multiply that times 3, so now it's 15 things just kind of in your head, right? Constantly thinking about like where everybody is. And at the beginning, you can do it with like Excel sheet, and that's not a problem, just basic stuff. But like if your client base grows to like 10, right? Now it's 50 things. From 15, you go to 50. So that things get out of control really quickly. And I had a corporate client I was super excited with, and we had a conversation on Thursday. And by the time I remembered on Tuesday that I have to follow up with them, client was already gone because they had another conversation. Another photographer did a follow up. They were in a rush, something that wasn't communicated originally in the meeting. And it's not that it was their fault. It was totally my fault. It's just I didn't have tools that were like that would do this automation for me. And after that, there was a hard lesson. After that, I started looking, and that's just something you have to do. Today, I'm just going to talk about like entry-level CRMs, basic systems that a lot of folks like to use today. I'm not going to recommend any particular one. If you end up in the school community, I'm actually going to drill into the one that I use. It's a little bit more advanced tools, but it has so many options that it's just it's almost like it feels unfair, right? So that's just incentive to hop in there because I would like to kind of share like the setup, and I may actually have some things for you guys to just grab, copy, paste, and import into the CRM. So that's something for later for you to consider. But CRM, what is it? It's a system that keeps the customer information, yes, but it also does the automation, the notifications. We're gonna dig into it here, and I'll try to explain. So, next slide here. Let's switch from chaos to clarity. So, like I said, this is from being totally not organized, not knowing where your leads are. And before I even dig into this slide, like, what are leads? Because a lot of people are confused, thinking that, and including myself, when I heard the term for the first time, I thought leads were the same as clients. And then I'm like, oh, so maybe they're not clients, maybe they're potential clients. But it was always, for me, it was always this sort of sensation of like, it's somebody that buys today, or like they're going to just buy maybe this week, maybe within 2 weeks. And And leads is like totally on a, it's a totally different, you have to be on a totally different frequency. Leads is essentially it's somebody that may be interested in purchasing from you, but that could be in, this week, it could be in 2 months, it could be in, 6 months. As far as like, it's not uncommon these days because there's so much noise and information online that some clients actually take time, and it could be 12 months, it could be 14 months, especially if it's like, if it's a wedding, somebody looks super early. If it's a corporate client and they're looking for maybe like a long-term engagement, maybe they want to sign a contract for like a year, 2 3, right? So for you to take pictures of employees. It could be like local school, they're always looking, they don't want to change photographer every quarter. Like they just want to get into this sort of arrangement with you where you're gonna, so they're gonna look, right, and they're gonna take their time. So it's not gonna be like they're gonna come across your website and book immediately like a 4-year contract. So just something to remember. So lead is really somebody that like raises a hand and says, I am actually looking for a photographer, not yet, but like we will actually next month start looking and researching. And so like you have to make sure that you're part of that consideration process, and that your name is in a pool of maybe 2 or 3 other photographers that they are considering. That's all it is. And CRM system does it for you automatically, so you don't have to worry. You do the work once, you set it up, and that thing just works like magic. So scattered leads, DMs, emails, texts everywhere. You guys know how it is. Like something, everybody enjoys different channels. Some people like Instagram, some people like Facebook, some people like texting, some people like to be on the phone. Most people enjoy video. Like it really depends on what it is. But it's hard to sometimes keep up. Like and running a business, you want to make sure that it's sort of unified, that like you have conversations maybe over different channels, but like in one place. That would be ideal. And that's exactly what a good CRM will allow you to do. You can actually log into your CRM, and regardless of whether they send you an email or Facebook message or text message, you see the whole conversation in your CRM, and you can respond, and CRM takes care of like sending it out through the right channel, which is really cool. So one system CRM organizes every step. Same thing. We're going to talk about like what the actual steps are, but here we're just going to say every interaction with the client, CRM is taken care of. So, and this is not to say you cannot get on the phone and call your client or text your client with additional information. This is just like everything that needs to happen for the business to prosper, for the customer to be for your client to be happy. It needs to be on point and on time. And that's just that one. That's what that is about. And then out of follow-ups, nothing slips through the cracks, which is just reiterating here. Next slide. Beyond spreadsheets. So a lot of folks would say, all right, like what is that thing gonna run me, right? Because it's like there's usually like a monthly cost associated with the CRM. And if you think about it, like depending on what the type of photography you're doing, but even if you're doing family photography, let's say you're charging $150 or $200 per session, right? If you're doing let's say 10, like I said, 10 clients, it's not when you're doing one family session per year. I'm saying you're at the point where you probably have more than 5, let's say. It's like, okay, so that's about $1,000, right? And then if you look at the price of the CRM, let's say it's $39, per month. Let's say it's $40, right? For easy calculation. Then it's 40, so it's 480, right? So it's like, it may be like too expensive at that point. If you're at that low price point, so like if half of the money goes towards CRM, like you can probably live without it. But on the other hand, if you're doing corporate clients, if you're doing weddings, if you're doing events, if you're into mass shooting, if you're doing sports, you name it, right? If your price point is above, let's say $500, and you're doing 10 different engagements throughout the year, now we're talking 6K, and this is the let's say $480 or $450. Is it not worth it? Most definitely, right? So even if you had to pay, you know, $1,000 a year, like it's still worth it, because if you lose one client, like for me, for example, if I serve clients with weddings, right? And what if it's 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 8,000, right? With the right package. You guys have, like, it just doesn't make sense not to have CRM, right? Because if I miss a client that brings in, let's say, 4,000, and my total cost for the CRM is, $600, and that's just one client, like it doesn't make sense. So math wise, like it just, you have to have it, right? um the pain is just in at the beginning, when you have to set everything up and put everything in place. Like I said, I may have, typically what I do is I do this high level overview of like why. Then I may get into like more of a tactical stuff. I may include it in the school community. So I'll also be sharing this with you. Um, and then let's see what the slide says here. Beyond spreadsheets, the CRM isn't a nice to have. It's a difference between losing client and growing studio. The math is simple, and I went through the math, so you guys get the point. Let's move to the next slide. So I'm just using an example here. So this is CRM for you're onboarding a client, right? So what happens here is CRM is actually, once the client's information is in there, first name, last name, email, phone. Ideally, the CRM then kicks in and is starting to do the job for you, right? So any sort of notifications from the moment they inquire, your CRM rolls out the red carpet, meaning the experience, even if you're not paying attention. Like a client may be on your website, putting an email or phone number in. You should not be involved in making sure that this client is contacted, right? Your CRM should react, and let's say maybe not immediately, so that it doesn't look like it's automated. Obviously, the messages are personalized. You kind of craft them before everything starts to operate. And it could be anything from like a welcome email, personalized, branded, that's sent instantly. When I say instantly, maybe within the first hour, let's say, to like a prep guide, what to wear or what to expect, or maybe about how you work or what you do or how you do it, right? Maybe philosophy or whatever you want to do. You get the point. It's just another notification and the next steps. So those can be scheduled, meaning the welcome email can go out today within the first hour. Then you can wait 6 hours, or you can wait a day, 24 hours, and just send them another email. Now imagine from the customer experience, like from the client perspective, what does that feel like? It's like, holy crap, this guy is on top of it, right? So welcome email, the second step, the third step, all of this is automated. And it's not only like, via email, which is the traditional way of doing it, but also text, also voicemails. So if there is something important, you can just pre-record this information. Works like a charm. So super, super helpful. No more waiting. No more, did I send that, right? Just immediate professional action. This experience, and over time you improve it. You talk to clients. As you onboard more and more people, you can always ask, hey, was this helpful? Is there anything like that you would expect? Is there anything that I could help you with, like earlier in the process? And guess what? Over time, you keep kind of like perfecting that system and just adding things in or taking things out, right? If it doesn't make sense. I was just talking to a photographer, Sarah Price, which she works with families, and she was basically saying like she actually simplified her process. So no more like what to wear guides. It was just basically like, hey, people are busy. She says, hey, time is of essence, and they get the first email, and then literally it's like, hey, here's the link to where you can book the it's about like it's about making it convenient to the client, removing the friction. So she's like, hey, here's the link to my calendar. They book, they show up, and that's it. And she says, hey, her client, like, she used to do all the best, all the bells and whistles before, and now she says the simplified version is actually better. Fantastic. It's like I said, the client is the judge, not another business owner, not your mom, not your sister, not your friend. So that's really what it is. The next one here is follow-ups that convert while you sleep. So I keep mentioning this here on this slide. You guys will see a similar slide right after this, but the message is a little different. So what I'm saying here is the follow-ups happen on different platforms. So it could be emails, could be text, could be voicemails. With emails, it's the drip sequences that nurture leads. So if somebody's early in the process, they're on your website, but they are not really booking in 6 months, they will get some sort of a notification with, just make sure that it's not crap. It's super easy today to go out like ChatGPT and just knock out just nonsense, put it in the email. That's not what your clients expect. Make sure that the information you put into your email is something that they're looking forward to, something fun, something related, something that's helpful for them. Don't just generate text and put it in the email. Same with text. Like, when you're getting a text, like, there's better be a good message, right? Because even right now with like I just noticed recent release of iOS, they're introducing like spam alerts and stuff. Like, you don't want to end up in that category. So those texts could be just quick personal checkings, more of like reminders if there's a meeting, if they didn't book and you want to remind them, like, hey, go ahead and just make sure you schedule, because the day could like go away. You can do it via text and voicemails. Sometimes even before meetings, I like to, like, for the clients to like hear my voice, because it makes it more personal, right? So you can do it with voicemails as well. And then this one, I said it will be a little similar, but here is across every platform, one system, every touch point. So I think I have more stuff here, because depending on how sophisticated the CRM is, it's the voice, it's the chat, it's the Facebook Messenger. It could be Twitter, it could be email, it could be open messaging. WhatsApp now, it's getting more and more popular depending on who you work with. So this one system, every touch point, email campaigns, branded newsletters, SMS and text, fast, personal, high open rates, voicemail drops, reach clients without the ring, and social. Oh, by the way, when you send the voicemails, it doesn't actually like ring the phone for a very long time. So it's a super convenient way to like slip in a voicemail into their voicemail. That's the term I'm looking for. And then social DMs, all conversations in one inbox. I mentioned that before. So it's not just basic text, phone, email. There's just so much more to it. So this was, I think, I don't know, maybe the slide wasn't overkill, but I just wanted to let you guys know, like, it's consolidating all the sources, all the interfaces into one. Tailored journey, not just one size fits all. So this one is also very, very cool, because your clients, and I've been talking about this if you have seen previous videos, but your future clients, or future clients really fall within three categories. Cold leads, warm leads, and hot leads. Cold leads are the ones that need education. They need a little bit of value. What is value? It's just something they need, right? Something that's necessary, that's required, like as part of this process. They need to be guided, and that's really what we call either education or you're providing value, and trust building. So that's what you need to provide to cold leads. They don't immediately hop on and buy. You're a stranger. Nobody, we don't like to buy from strangers. Then we have warm leads, social proof, portfolio highlights. So warm leads, again, those are people that are like usually have you considering you, like maybe there's like another photographer that they're considering, and it's just like they're aware that you exist. Now they're trying to pick, like, and they pick, trust me, it's nothing personal. I say it's nothing personal, but it is kind of personal, because we buy with identities. So sometimes you may be thinking it's photography, but it's like, no, I dig this photographer because he has yellow glasses. I'm making this up, but you get the point. Like, people, a lot of times I was like, at one point I was doing a lot of like Polish weddings, just because that's, born and raised in Poland. So so it's all identity based. So sometimes just it's super like subjective when people choose when they're buying. So be aware of that. And warm leads, social proof, portfolio highlights, Sometimes they're looking for like specific images, maybe social proof. It's like, okay, have he done weddings like at this venue, let's say, right? Has like, let's say you have you're booking your first corporate client, like some, some of them will probably think like, hey, has he done or she done any work with social with corporate clients prior? So it's just that, and then hot leads is the urgency, availability, book now. Different. This is where you're really catering to them with like, here's the calendar link, here is where you pay, here is where you pull your contract. So those are hot leads. Those are the folks that you immediately interact with right before. It's it's a transactional thing, right? So depending on who it is, cold leads, warm leads, and hot leads, CRM will cater to them individually. So really depending on where they're in the process, inside your CRM, you can pass them from like one section, let's say they're cold, and now let's say they interacted with something that you sent to them, and now they're like, oh, they're more engaged. So you switch them from the category of cold to warm, and because they are warm, now you're going to serve them different content, which is cool. And then same thing happens with hot. It's like now they're considering you, maybe they're ready to buy. Now you're switching them from warm lead bucket to the hot lead bucket, and cater to them with different content, with different call to actions, and just kind of showing them different steps. So that's that. Focus on what matters. Open pipeline. Before, I don't know if I have a slide here. Let me just. Yeah, I don't. Very one thing that I wanted to bring up. So it is not on the slide, but because you have the categories of cold, warm, and hot, you also have the categories of, let's say you're a photographer that offers the different genre of photography. Maybe you're doing family portraits, maybe you're doing weddings, maybe you're doing corporate clients, maybe you're doing volume. Who knows? You know where you are. The point is, if they end up on your landing page, which is different from your home page, the landing page allows you to, what do I want to call it? Tag the lead certain way. So if John lands on the headshot landing page, then when John enters CRM, he's being tagged as a headshot lead. This is when Marcin lands on the wedding page and I provide my information, then I'm being tagged inside the CRM as the wedding client. So now we are not getting same messages. We're getting totally different experience, even though same photographer, same company. And this is exactly what people are looking for. A lot of times I always start the conversation with like website, and it's like, on your website, just make sure that you don't mix weddings, cats, landscapes, and personal work, right? Make sure you segregate it at the beginning. It's fine, but like get away from it as soon as possible, because your potential leads, people that are interested, people like to be catered to. They don't like to generalize. So that's very important. That's another way of categorizing and customizing the experience here. So back to the slide. Focus on what matters. So CRM is not only taking care of like those notifications, which obviously it does, but it also keeps track of like where your clients are and caters the different communications at the right stages. But also it helps you in the day-to-day activities, because of people are out there interacting with your world, with your system. And for you as a photographer, as a business owner, you should also know that it's you need to know every day like who to interact with. And because this action happens sort of out there, and you don't typically, if you don't have a CRM, you're just guessing. With CRM, because you know where they are in the process, you can actually react better. So open pipeline is basically when your clients enter the pipeline at the beginning, they hold on, because you guys can't see the screen. I'm just doing the visualization here. So if they enter the pipeline, obviously they're gonna, this is the goal, so they will actually move slower closer to the goal. Eventually the conversion happens, which is the sale, and it's like exactly where they are. So if they have moved, let's say you go away, let's say you have a conversation, somebody lands on your website, it's Thursday. From Thursday to like Saturday, Sunday, they may actually be closer to the goal. So while in your head it's like, oh, I just talked to this person and sent them to the website, they could be almost ready to buy. without you knowing. Without CRM, you wouldn't know that. So so this way you know where they are. So on Monday, guess what you're doing? Maybe it's time to reach out, like if the client is closer. Also, even if it takes for somebody 6 months to get there, every day this pipeline will fill in and hopefully, right, and fill in, and people are going to get closer. And it's like, instead of focusing on everybody, you're just focusing on whoever is closest to the conversion point. So daily priority CRM tells you who to contact today. Stay on track, no guesswork, just the next right action. So saves you a lot of time. Imagine communication saves you time. Knowing who to focus on saves you time, right? If it's like even scheduling, if it sends out links and people book automatically, it saves a lot of time. So that's I just can't stress it, enough. So that is that. And then lifetime value and smarter scaling. I just pulled some numbers. I was looking at like market statistics, right? Averages. Repeat bookings 3x from track client relationship. Why? Like, why is it 3x? And for some of you, it may be higher, maybe 10x. I don't know. But the thing is, because the experience, like you had a good experience with somebody, why would you not come back, right? So that's that. 40% revenue increase average first year CRM adopters. Why? Because you don't have to remember stuff. It just runs on autopilot. And 10 hours saved weekly through automation alone. Why am I not showing you the slide? So you're saving time. Track best clients, spot upsell opportunities, scale smarter, not harder. And I mentioned upsells because as clients discover different things, different offers within your ecosystem, maybe they're joining to do like a headshot thing, but somewhere in there, maybe you have like, maybe it's the time around Christmas, and maybe part of the campaign, like all of your clients get an opportunity to like, hey, we're actually running the thing for Christmas special. And so like, you don't have to just run them through the headshot cycle. You can also include inside your CRM workflow. Now we're getting with the words. You can include other specials, other offers you're running. So as they're waiting for their headshot thing or their wedding thing, they may actually take advantage of like a family thing, or a special that you're running. So scale smarter, not harder, and that's really it. And people usually ask like, okay, where do I go? Where do I start? So today I hear three names, and I beg you, if there is like one that you're using that you're really happy with, if you can leave a comment on this video, that would be super helpful. The names I'm hearing right now is 17 Hats, Honeybook, and Pixie Set. Those are like conventional ones, and I will actually flag those for you here. I don't recommend anyone in particular. I use Pixie Set. I used Honeybook before. I will try 17 Hats just because I like to compare. Maybe it's cheaper, maybe it's easier, maybe whatever, but like, I am happy with my CRM, and I will only share it with those that will hop into the school community. But again, Honeybook, just come here, sign up. Product, you can just just look at the options. If I scroll through, will they show me? Yeah, they show you dashboard. They show you like revenue expectations, because they like CRM will track what client, what offer are they interested in, and it will give you projections. So like, it's for business, it's just phenomenal. Oh, they even have numbers here on how much time you save. Invoices, contracts, everything is in here. Some have even like galleries. Pixie said it's like a one place where you can have your website, your studio manager, with like contracts and scheduling and bookings and meetings and like files that you send to your clients. So that's pretty cool. 70 Hats I have not used, but I know a lot of photographers do use it today, and that's why I'm not gonna speak about it. I'm just hearing really good things. So something you may want to consider. And with that being said, always remember, leave the comments, because it's the only sort of navigation tool that I have for you guys to like, hey, where are you stuck? What is it I can help with? Different folks have different questions, and don't hesitate with asking those questions, because if you have that question, chances are somebody else also has this question. So super helpful, because I know how to cater the next episode, like what to focus on. And then I already did mention the school community. If you didn't catch it, here is the QR code. Just scan it. You're going to land there. If you have questions for me, if you want to reach me directly, you can find me on via Facebook. Just DM me. And school community, there's the link. This is all I had for you guys today. I hope this was helpful. And yes, I'm gonna plan on doing more of a tactical thing, just to kind of show you around the tool, maybe. So that's maybe in a next follow-up episode. All right, guys, thank you so much. How long did it take us? Wow, almost 40 minutes. So I thought it would be a short episode. Thanks again. Thanks for your time, and I'll see you next time. Bye.